Hey, what's up? It's Matt from Art of the Image. It is a beautiful sunny day here in Woodstock, Ontario, and I thought it'd be a great day to get out. I've got the Canon SL2 here with me. You can see it's a nice small DSLR. We've got the flip-out LCD ready to go. And I thought the Canon SL2 would be perfect to show you guys the top 3 things you can do to make your vlogs better. The SL2 is a very popular vlogging camera for good reason. It's a great little camera. It's got Canon's wonderful dual pixel autofocus in it. It's got that flip out LCD screen I was just talking about, so you can see yourself. You've got the ability to one-man crew it. You can put it in the dual pixel AF mode and let it track you while you're vlogging. But there's some things you can do beyond the norm to make your vlogs better. And specifically, there's 3 things I want to show you, want to discuss with you today to make your vlogs better. And the first one is to do with what lens you have on the camera. Now, I don't know if you guys can see, but this is, let's see if the camera will pick that up. This is the Canon 10-18 IS STM lens. There's the front of it there with the cap off. One of the huge advantages of this is this ends where this guy stops. A lot of you will only have this lens, the 18-55. That's the lens that comes in the standard, the less expensive kit with the SL2. But one of the first things you can do for better vlogging is to pick up this guy. This guy can be had very inexpensively, sometimes refurbed through the Canon store or on Amazon. I'll put a link below, you can check it out. But as soon as you can swap out to this guy, the 10-18, instead of using this guy, we'll show you what you can do, what the difference is. So we're shooting with the SL2 now. This is the SL2 you're seeing that's looking at me and recording this, the 10-18 Canon on here. And the big thing I want to show you is this is the 18 end on the 10-18. Now, if you've only got the 18-55 kit lens, this is as wide as you can go for vlogging. Right now I'm holding the camera at arm's length, handheld, no tripod, and I am vlogging handheld with the 10-18. Now, as I said, if you've got the 18-55, this is as wide as you can go. As soon as you get the 10-18, you can zoom out to 10 mil, you get a lot more of your background in. It becomes much more versatile. The wider ability of the 10-18 just makes it so much easier to vlog, gives you the ability to bring in your background, make things look interesting behind you. Again, if I only have the 18 ability and I zoom back in, it's not bad, but this is all you can see. If I have the 10-18 on here and I go out to 10, I've got the ability to get so much more perspective and background in, and just makes for a much more interesting, more detailed shot, more for your audience to see in the picture, as it were. So the 10-18 is a great value and a great addition, probably the first lens I would recommend adding or upgrading to if you're a vlogger and you're using something like the Canon SL2. You could be using the 80D or any of the other Canon APS-C bodies. And the same thing, if you're shooting with any of the other brands, you could be shooting with Panasonic, you should be looking at the 7-18 for vlogging. If you're shooting with Nikon, they have that brand new 10-20. The ultra wide angle is really going to open up a world of possibilities and really improve your vlogging. The next thing we need to talk about here is the audio. This is the Canon SL2, and as you heard earlier in the first tip when I was telling you about the 10-18 and the advantages it can bring, what you were listening to, I didn't specify it. I wanted to show you the difference in the second part here. The second tip is I've got a Rode Video Micro in the hot shoe. Let me show you. So I think you could see there, that's the Rode Video Micro up in the hot shoe, plugged into the SL2. So you're actually not listening to the Canon SL2's onboard audio. This is not the quality of audio or the same audio you can expect to get out of the SL2. Give me 1 second, I'll show you what you can expect to get straight out of the SL2. Okay, so now what you're listening to, now what you're hearing is me
through the SL2. This is the onboard mics, the built-in microphones on the Canon SL2. And you know what? I'm sure they're not bad, because a lot of the mics now aren't bad built into the cameras, the ones that come with the cameras, which you're using built in. And if you can't afford to buy all the different accessories, the first thing I would probably do is go with the 10-18 if you're gonna be vlogging, because it's extremely helpful. But let's go back to the SL2 and you'll be able to hear the difference in the audio again. So now we're back to the Rode Video Micro. It's plugged into the mic jack on the side of the SL2, and it's got the furry little dead cat, as they call them, on it. You can see again here. Let me get this up there. There you can see. That's the what it looks like with the SL2. I'm holding it at arm's length. I'm just doing a standard vlogging style setup right now. SL2, handheld. My arm is getting a little tired from holding the camera out, so you make it a little bit of shaking. Hopefully the IS, the image stabilization, is countering that. But what you're hearing right now, the important thing I want to point out is this is the Rode Video Micro. And this little Rode does an amazing job of sound isolation. In other words, it makes like a cone in front of it and just picks that up, and it should isolate a lot of the background noise. Let me unplug it again and show you just one more time what the difference is just with the camera's onboard mics. So again, we're back to just the onboard mics from the Canon SL2. The Rode Video Micro is unplugged now. It's not running. That's the nice thing about it. You don't have to have an on switch with the Video Micro. It just plugs into the camera and it runs off the power of the camera. Drains your batteries a little bit more, but it's not that bad, and the improved quality of the audio is quite a bit. Here, let me plug it back in and listen when I have the Video Micro plugged back in again. So there we go. Again, Rode Video Micro plugged into the mic jack on the side of the SL2. What you're hearing is the SL2 with the Rode Video Micro delivering the audio into the camera. So as you can see, as you can hear, it should be a lot more sound isolated. It should be basically zoomed in, as it were. There should be a cone of pickup coming from the mic on the top of that camera towards my voice. It should be isolating a lot of the background sounds, just making for a more pleasing audio and a better overall sound quality coming from the video. So that's number two. That's the second tip to get better quality in your vlogs. The first one, the 10-18, which we're using right now. And again, I've got it zoomed into 18 at the moment just because it looked better for the situation I was in, but I can zoom that out to 10 mil, and then you can see more of the background just for something more interesting. Bring it back into 18, so this is the widest you're gonna get if you're using the 18-55. But what you're hearing right now, this better sound that you're hearing, is the Video Micro, the Rode Video Micro on the top of the SL2. Now the third thing I wanna show you guys should be evident right now. And this is a huge thing that helps for vlogging, at least I find it to be the case, because it can be so restrictive to be having your hand out with the camera in your hand here or in this arm, and your arm's getting sore and you're starting to shake and you're wondering if the image stabilization is going to counter it, and it can cut short what you have to say. You could lose your spot, where you were and what you wanted to say, and your delivery gets screwed up when you're vlogging. And not always the case when we have a small pocket camera like, say, the Panasonic LX10 or the Sony RX100, but certainly when you're using a DSLR or any interchangeable lens camera, maybe a Micro Four Thirds camera, like the G85 that you'll see me shooting with a lot in the studio, your arms get sore. So you're wondering, well, how are you doing this right now? Well, obviously I'm using a tripod. Let me see if we can use the mirror again to show you what we have here. Let's see. So as you can see there, I've got the SL2, which is what's filming this right now. We're using the SL2. We've got the 10-18 on, which gives us that ability to go super wide. So that was the first tip. Again, let's zoom out right now. You probably see me shaking the tripod a little bit. Look, this is the advantage you can see with the 10-18. Now, I should point out a little tip when you're using the 10-18. It is an ultra wide, so this at the far reaches of the lens, it gets a little distorted. You can probably see my arms are starting to look a little distorted now. So you want to keep yourself kind of centered in the middle here. It's going to stop you from looking like you're in a funhouse mirror setup. But look at the background I got right now. That's 10 mils on this. If I go to 18 again, that's as wide as you can go if you're shooting with the 18-55. So that was tip one. Tip two, you should be hearing a much better sound right now with the Rode Video Micro. I showed you in the last segment there that sound difference between the Rode Video Micro and using the onboard, the built-in mics from the SL2. And those would be similar to basically any camera using its built-in mics. You're gonna get better sound if you use something like a shotgun mic. The alternative is too, if you wanted to, you could go with a lav mic into something like a Zoom H1. I have one of those, I do that a lot. But a shotgun mic, like the Video Micro, first of all, it's an inexpensive mic. It's around $50 or $60. Again, I'll put links below, you can check all this stuff out. But a shotgun mic is the easiest, quickest setup for run and gun, which is basically what you're doing with vlogs. In other words, we want to set up, we want to get going, we want to get vlogging. So the beautiful dual pixel AF looks like it's tracking me just fine right now. The 10-18s gives me that ability to go super wide here. Again, super wide. And really helpful, like right now handheld, this would be me right now handheld. I've got my hand right about where it would be holding the camera. And then the beauty of it is, I don't have to hold the camera right now because I've got it on a tripod. What am I currently using at the moment? My Mi Photo Road Trip aluminum tripod. It's very small, lightweight, compact, but it does the job really well. And I really, really like this tripod. It's probably my favorite tripod to take with me when I'm not working inside the studio because it is so small and light, and it's so versatile, and it's got a really nice swivel head, ball head, and just doesn't weigh much. I can squeeze it right down to a very small size, compacted, I guess. You don't squeeze the tripod, but you can take it with you with very little penalty as far as additional weight and size. It'll strap on even to my really small low pro backpack that I use if I'm just taking a small setup like the SL2 out. So those are my 3 tips. The 10-18. If you're vlogging, that ultra wide is just going to open up a world of possibilities. Again, there it is there. That's 10 mils. You can't get that with your 18-55 kit lens. This is 18. That's as wide as you can go. So it just really gives you that ability to vlog in all different situations and areas, and you could be indoors and using it. You can be outdoors. You can show your audience more of the background. You're not going to be able to do that with the 18-55. The sound you're hearing, that's number 2. Much better audio off the Video Micro, the Rode Video Micro, which is in the hot shoe right now. Again, I'll put links below. And then on top of that, right now, my arms were getting sore, and I'm relieved from that problem because I'm using my Mi Photo Road Trip tripod, which is fantastically light and portable. And I've got the camera on it right now, and I'm just standing close enough that it looks like I'm vlogging, except my arm isn't stuck out like this and starting to shake because I'm getting tired from holding the camera. So it really frees you up that way. Especially frees you up if you want to show your audience something in your hands and demonstrate something, depending on what type of vlogging you're doing. A lot of people, you might have product you want to show. So those are my 3 tips. Let me know what you think. Again, I'll put links below to everything we've talked about. If you have any questions about any of these, let me know in the comments below. And by the way, I'm really enjoying the Canon SL2, and I highly recommend that as a vlogging camera, with the caveat that it does not do 4K. If you're okay with that, which in a lot of situations is fine, it's a great little camera. Thanks for tuning in, folks. If you've enjoyed this tutorial on vlogging, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, hit the like button down below, and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed for more great videos on photography, videography, and we do a lot of Q&A here too, answering your questions. Feel free to write in. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon here at artoftheimage.com. And oh yeah, one last thing I wanted to point out. The 10-18, not only is it a great lens for making your vlogging look better, you can do a lot with it for photography, landscapes, interiors. Check out the difference in these shots here.